been? I just went to Canada for the first time. Was in Toronto, and one of my close friends there just in Montreal this past weekend.
Montreal is beautiful. My brother lives in Montreal. It's
Oh,
city. Vancouver is more prettier, so I will take that.
I hear it's spectacular. I was actually very close to moving to Seattle, and was kind of excited about it because then I was like, oh, I'll get to like explore that whole part of Canada, regularly.
Yeah.
And
And
then
if you do like winter sports, even though Vancouver is the sunny side, they have one of the best ski mountains in all of Canada. So it's
what's the mountain again?
Ski Mount Whistler, and
Yeah,
then
Whistler. That's right. Yeah, I was gonna go.
yeah, it's beautiful. In the winters, it's so massive. Like I have never been this massive ski mountains in my life, and I was like, okay, this is amazing. It's just
Yeah. No, I was dating a guy that lives out there and for a little while, and then ended up not happening. So I was kind of like, man, I was like, I loved Seattle, but I also just loved Canada. So um, it's an incredible part of North America, without a doubt. So um, how long you been in? Were you born and raised in Vancouver, or?
so it's been on and
Well,
off.
I keep losing your volume.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're good.
It's been on and off 9 years. So mostly in Vancouver when I'm landed in Canada, but like a year in Montreal, and then a couple of years I was actually traveling around and working in different countries, kind of thing. So
Nice, cool, um, awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. Basically, I will try not to take up too much of your time. I just have a handful of questions. Would love to just hear about one. It's kind of broken into a few parts. One is like prior to trading your claim, what were your thoughts? How did you find your information?
sure.
Yeah, how did you feel? And then basically your experience of trading your claim. And so if you don't mind, when I ask a question, if you can respond by kind of saying the question first. So if I say, why did you decide to sell your claim? If you can respond saying, I decided to sell my claim because ...
Okay.
But remind me again which case you traded in.
Uh, uh, Celsius Network.
You were Celsius? Okay, awesome. Okay, well, cool. I mean, if you're ready to get started, we can go ahead.
Sure.
How did you feel when you first heard Celsius filed for bankruptcy? What did you expect was going to happen?
So I was pretty active on the Reddit community and all those things. So the expectations was something like 40.
Would you mind saying when Celsius filed for bankruptcy? Sorry.
Okay. So when Celsius filed for bankruptcy, initial thoughts were like a lot of frustration because although I did not have a lot of money there, but still like losing money for random things like this is like kind of sad. So I think a lot of sadness and frustration. And at that time when it filed for the bankruptcy, there was like a lot of speculations and a lot of people writing different things and all those stuff happening at the same time. So I think like first 15 days, I was constantly just reading emails and all the communication and all the Reddit analysis from the people of how this is going to play out and everything. And then there was expectations that we might get like 50% back, something close to 50% back, depending upon how much you have and what your asset prices and everything is at the point of bankruptcy was. So I was like, okay, I will just take like a 50% loss and like see how things goes over time, kind of thing. So that's the point when it was like just seeing. And then I think after 15, 20 days, I just stopped altogether monitoring. The reason being is work is there and there's so many other things happening in life. So I was like, if I lost it, I lost it, kind of thing. So I was like, I'll just take it that all the money is lost. If I get something, that's a bonus. If I don't get anything, it's not the end of the world money for me. So I'll just take it like as a kind of loss for the moment being, kind of thing. Okay, it's like if I don't get anything back, I'm not going to spend my energy and time just looking into emails and analysis and reading through. So I basically unsubscribed from all the places where they describe Celsius Network on Reddit. And then I was like, and also the Discord channel, I was like, I'm going out of this. So it's like, does not keep constantly reminding me. So that was how kind of like things happened after the bankruptcy.
Awesome. Thank you. What did you think your options were? So once Yeah, like I got, and you can say even like in like a couple things, like, were you aware of your option of selling your claim, or did you think it was just like wait and see?
Yeah, at that point of time, my options were I thought just wait and see because I did not knew about that we can sell a claim, especially at the time of bankruptcy. Like I think I might have known after like few months when I started seeing like some people mentioning about Cherokee acquisitions. So that was another company which did the claim acquisition. But at that point of time, I did not reach out. I was like, I have already considered it a loss, so maybe I'll just wait it out. And I think it was almost a year mark where they actually send in more emails and all those things. Then I was like, maybe, and at that time, I actually checked the Reddits and all those things again. A lot of people were selling the claims, so I kind of reached out to first Cherokee and Xclaim at that point of time to see how much I can get back. And because I anyways wanted to forget, like, okay, I don't want to keep checking emails and communication and all those things to get frustrated again. So if I can just sell the claim and move on, and then I had a goal in mind, which was like, if I can get 30% and more, I will sell and move on. So I think that was the goal, and that's where like Xclaim offered 30%. So I was like, okay, I will take it and leave and just forget about it.
Sorry, there's some construction upstairs, so I'm trying to mute mine so it doesn't interrupt you. Thank you for that. Out of curiosity, where were you finding your information? You said Reddit.
Mostly Reddit, because I actually already unsubscribed from all the Discord channels I used to subscribe with, but it was mostly Reddit. As far as I can remember, both Cherokee and Xclaim I actually found from Reddit.
Cool. Okay. Prior to working with Xclaim, what was maybe your biggest concern?
I prior to working with Xclaim, uh, I think the one of the only concerns was like, oh, are they going to give me just 10% back or 15% back? I think that was the only concern because I was like, if it gives that low, I won't even mind selling and just wait it out, kind of thing. Uh, there was no other concerns as in like trust or maybe how long it will take my money to come back. Like if I fill in all the paperwork and everything, how long will the Xclaim takes to transfer money? What would be the format they transfer money in? Like they're either going to transfer in crypto or bank transfer and all those things. But that was the other parts were not major concern. Like those were like logistics, which I was like, I will sort it out. I have waited for so long. If it takes a month, that's not a problem. Yeah.
Thank you. What was okay? Let's see. Okay, so next, kind of into your experience with Xclaim. Can you just maybe walk through a little bit, like from how like you said you found us on Reddit? Maybe like what was your first engagement with us? Tell me about that, and then yeah, all the way through like when you got an offer, if you counter offered, and then closing and getting paid. We'd love to just hear you talk about the experience.
Sure. So I registered on Xclaim. There was like a really straightforward that which bankruptcy you are filing for. So it was like Celsius, and then you mention all the assets which you have and everything. And then there's like a bidding counter starts coming in. So I think the first counter came at was like 15%. I was like, oh, that's too low. And then I'll just let it be. I was like, at that point, I thought, and then it increased to like 18, 20, then started getting 25, I think 28. 28 is the point where I kind of like accepted and then countered with like, hey, can I get 30? And then the counter was immediately accepted as well at 30. So I was like, okay, I'm ready to sell at that point. Like, this is the price range. This is the mind I had. It's like, okay, that this much is something which I'm happy to sell with. So, and then after the selling, the process was really, really quick and straightforward. I think that was the good part, which is like, uh, Yasmin and Ryan, they were like very, very quick to respond to get me the documentations and then start the e-transfer process as soon as the like the documentation is done. So everything was very streamlined, very straightforward, and very fast. Like it was within the week, I got the funds and everything. After starting the process, and within the week, I got everything. So I think it was very quick.
That's great. Can you maybe like how did it feel maybe once you received the payment? You had mentioned, and a lot of people have mentioned this, how like, once I went bankrupt, everyone you're just following every headline and it was like kind of all consuming. But maybe like how did you feel once you received the payment and you could kind of move on past it?
Yeah. How did I feel? So the first feeling was like relief and also happiness. So the idea is that, okay, I got some money back, which is still a significant amount of money. And then I got some money back, and I'm relieved that I don't have to follow through any news and anything anymore. And then I can just leave this behind me, and I don't have to worry about like what's gonna happen, what's not gonna happen. So that was a lot of relief.
Awesome. Did you have any specific plans with the funds once you got them? Like, what is your plan now? Are you reinvesting them? Are you holding them? Um,
I invested them back in crypto. So I was like, this is the money which I was expecting was a crypto money anyway. So it was a risk money. So I was like, any funds I get back, I'll just buy Bitcoin and nothing else, which was my previous strategy as well. Like I never got much into altcoins, but I was like, okay, I messed up one time, but it's okay. Now I'm just gonna buy and keep in like hard wallets. So I was like, okay, I'll just keep it. So this is the money I was expecting to lose anyways. So I can put everything in Bitcoin. And even if it goes to zero, I will just assume that, okay, I lost it all, but it's fine. Like it was like not a stupid loss. It was just like a investment which did not pan out.
yeah. What platform are you buying your Bitcoin on?
So in Canada, I use this platform called Newton and Wealthsimple. They're like a Canadian platform, so they're Canadian regulated. So it's much easier, and their fees is less compared to like Coinbase and Binance when it compares to Canada.
Cool. If you could say anything to another creditor like yourself, that is maybe considering using Xclaim, what would you say to them?
So what would I say to another creditor would be like, if you are looking to sell your claims, Xclaim actually gives out one of the best offers for the claim markets. And then the process is really transparent and really straightforward and really easy. And it's really worth it to like, if you're looking to considering a sale of your assets, I think Xclaim is a good platform to solve.
Awesome. Thank you. What would maybe be the main reason you would recommend Xclaim to someone?
I would say like the first thing is the speed. I got like good claim offers within a day, and then once I accepted the claim, everything else was also very quick. So it was very quick, very efficient, very transparent, and the communication was consistent. So those were like the big positives.
Thank you. That's kind of all. I mean, the last question is any recommendations for our team that we could do better, that we could improve on? I don't know, something because we are in a place where, our product, generally, we don't see people twice. Like we don't see sellers twice. And hopefully we don't see you in another crypto bankruptcy, right? But
Yeah.
We don't have repeating sellers. So it's trying to get input when it's fresh to make improvements.
I can't think of anything out of the head.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for everything. I'm going to go ahead to lunch. I live in Miami Beach, so I'm in the polar opposite corner of you.
Okay.
And it's scorching hot down here right now. But I appreciate it. So, and I'll let you know if I'm ever up in the Vancouver area.
Sure.
So,
Sounds good.
yeah. Well, thank you so much, and have a great weekend.
You as well. Have a great weekend. Bye.